A warm and a pleasant morning to you all children, and I welcome you for today's learning session. Children, we are going to continue with the same lesson, that is light, where part 1 and part 2 has already been sent. This is regarding the same lesson light, and it is part 3. By this, we will be completing all the topics which are to be covered for your class 8 under the heading light. So in part 1, we had seen about reflection, laws of reflection, regular reflection and diffuse reflection, etc. In the second part, we had discussed about the image formed by the plane mirror and the number of images formed by it, and we have seen about the quality of the image: real, virtual, enlarged, diminished, etc. Now, further to it, we will discuss in today's lesson about dispersion, our eye, then blind spot, then persistence of vision, etc. in today's class. So we will go one by one into the lessons, please. Children, first let us discuss on the topic dispersion of light. This term, dispersion of light, is a very important term, and you will learn about the same topic, dispersion of light, even when you go to class 10. First, let us see what is this dispersion of light. Now look at this diagram given here. You have a glass prism and a ray of white light is incident on the glass prism. So what happens to the ray of white light? It gets splitted into 7 colors. So the white light is splitted up into 7 constituent colors. The colors, you read it from down to up: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So when you take up the first letter of all the colors, V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. So it is called as VIBGR. So we call shortly the acronym VIBGR to represent the 7 colors in order. So in this experiment, we have seen the white light is splitted up into 7 colors, and the 7 colors are VIBGR. So the process of splitting up of white light into 7 constituent colors is known as dispersion. And the band of 7 colors that we get it on the screen, they are called as spectrum. So the two new words that you learn today are dispersion and spectrum. Dispersion is the process, is the phenomena which occurs, and this refers to splitting of white light into 7 colors. And after the splitting, the collection of colors, the collection of band of colors, they are called as spectrum, right? So this you will learn still deeper when you go to class 10. Now let us look at the slide. What is dispersion of light? When white light is passed through a glass prism, it splits into its spectrum of colors in order: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. And this process of white light splitting into its constituent colors is termed as dispersion. The simplest way to explain dispersion is through dispersion of prism. Now let us see the practical application of this dispersion of light. So after a shower of rain, sometimes we hardly, if you notice in the sky, we see the rainbow. So the rainbow is nothing but where the band of colors are taking place on the sky, and because the white light of the sun, they pass through the raindrops. So dispersion takes place. Here white light acts as the source of light and the raindrops act like prism here. Therefore, we get a band of colors which is known as rainbow on the sky. A very easy example to look at the band of colors is you can take the reflecting surface of the ordinary CD that you have. We use CD to record audio, video, right? So when you take up any CD and when you look up the reflecting side of it, you will fantastically notice the spectrum of light in it because it disperses the white light very fantastically. Children, now let us see into the structure of our human eye. So you know that our human eye plays a very important role in our body. It helps us to see all the objects which we are facing, and the sense organ, that is the eyes, play a very important role. And in this you have the diagram of the human eye. The same human eye and its function and its parts, everything in detail you will learn in 10th standard. Now you are being introduced with the structure of the human eye. Now when you see the human eye, it is not exactly circle in shape. It is spherical in shape, right? And you have some parts, important parts called cornea, the black color pupil, which is supported by a pair of iris, and behind the iris you find the lens, and you on the right side or the other side you find retina, which acts like the screen. So these are the different parts of our human eye. So let us read the slide. The human eye is a sense organ. It helps in seeing different objects. The light reflected from different objects enter our eyes, and thus we see things around us. It is an important organ, so understanding its structure is also very important. This slide gives you more information about our human eye. The human eye is the sense organ which helps us to see the colorful world around us. The human eye is like a camera. Its lens system forms an image on the light sensitive screen called retina. The eyeball is almost spherical in shape with a diameter of about 2.3 centimeter. Light enters the eye through a transparent membrane called cornea. Behind the cornea is a muscular diaphragm called iris, which has an opening called pupil. The pupil controls the amount of light entering the eye. The eye lens helps to focus the image of the object on the retina. The ciliary muscles helps to change the curvature of the lens and to change its focal length. So working of the eye. The eye lens forms a real inverted image of the object on the retina. The light sensitive cells in the retina then produce electrical signals which are carried by the optic nerves to the brain. The brain processes the information and sends the message to the eye, and then we see the objects. So this slide explains you the function of each and every part of the eye which has been given to you in the previous slide. So you can just see the diagram and you can see the working of each and every part of it. So this is a very important diagram, and the functioning of the eye is a very important question as far as the exams are concerned, children. Children, let us discuss about an important concept called blind spot of the eye. This concept of blind spot we will learn through an activity. Look at the diagram which is given here. You find a dot on the left side and a cross on the other side, which is marked on a strip of paper. So let us read this activity. Make a round mark and a cross on a sheet of paper with the spot to the right of the cross. The cross should be on the right of the dot. The distance between the two marks must be between 6 to 8 centimeters. Hold the sheet of paper at an arm's length from the eye. Close your left eye. Look continuously at the cross. Move the sheet slowly towards you, keeping your eye on the cross. What do you find? Does the round mark disappear at some point? Now close your right eye. Look at the round mark and now repeat the same activity. Does the cross disappear this time? So the activity is simple. So you have to make the dot and the cross on the sheet of paper where the distance between them should be 6 to 8 centimeter. First you have to close the left eye and you have to view only the cross and then bring it slowly in front of you. Then you at some region or some point you can see that the dot disappearing from you. This is repeated for the other eye. So now the cross will disappear. So at some point of view, the dot and the cross disappears when you close the one of the eyes. Why is it happening? Now read the solution. Yes, the cross disappears. The disappearance of the cross or the round mark shows that there is a point on the retina which cannot send message to the brain when light falls on it. Blind spot is the region on the retina of the eye and is called as optic disc. Images are not detected by this region of the eye as it is devoid of photoreceptors, that means the rods and the cones. This is the region through which optic nerve leaves the eye to reach the brain. This region also provides a gap through which blood vessels enter the eye to supply blood to all parts of the eye. So this is the concept of the blind spot. Yes, children, what we are going to see in this slide is all about an activity to demonstrate the studied concept called persistence of vision. Here is an activity. Get a square piece of cardboard of size 6 to 8 centimeter. Make 2 holes as shown in the figure. Thread a string through the 2 holes. Draw or else paste a cage on one side of the cardboard and a bird on the other side. Twist the string and make the card twirl rapidly. Do you see the bird in the cage? Solution: yes. We can see the bird in the cage. Thus, impressions of an image persist in retina for about 1/16th of a second. So this activity clearly explains the concept of persistence of vision. So what you are doing is you are taking a piece of cardboard and make a drilling or make a hole on the two sides. On one side of it you draw a bird, the other side of it you draw a cage. If you twist the string and trill the cord rapidly, we can see the bird inside the cage. So though the bird and the cage are on different sides, when you trill rapidly means very speed, at a very great speed. So when you trill the cord rapidly, we will find the bird to be inside the cage. Children, this slide gives more information about our eye. First, let us learn about least distance of distinct vision of human eye. This is a very important term. Least distance, that means the smallest distance of distinct vision. What do you mean by distinct vision? Which you can see clearly. The minimum distance required to see the more clear images of the human eye. Now children, when you check up your human eye, it is capable of seeing both faraway objects and nearby objects. For example, if you are standing in a bus stop, you can be able to identify the bus number when it comes at a very far distance, isn't it? So our eye lens is capable of seeing the faraway objects. Also, when you read your textbooks, you are able to see the letters clearly and read it. So your eye lens is adopted to see nearby objects also. So this is a very unique feature of our human eye to enable us to see faraway objects as well as nearby objects. Eye is such a wonderful instrument that it can see distant objects as well near objects clearly. The minimum distance at which the eye can see objects distinctly varies with age. The most comfortable distance at which one can read with a normal eye is about 25 centimeter, and this 25 centimeter is known as the least distance of distinct vision of the human eye. Now let us analyze some of the defects that the human eye is crossing with. Some persons can see near objects clearly but cannot see distant objects so clearly. On the other hand, some persons cannot see nearby objects clearly, but they can see distant object quite well. With suitable corrective lenses, these defects of the eye can be corrected. So the two defects which are explained here, they are known as myopia and hypermetropia, which you will learn more clearly when you go to class 10. So a normal person should see nearby objects and a far off objects. Some of us are unable to see nearby objects and some of us are unable to see the faraway objects. In such a case, we need to have the defective corrected by suitable eye lenses. With the suitable eye lenses, we can correct these two common refractive index, that means the defects of the eye. Then next we will say about an important disease of the eye, defect of the, not the disease, it is a defect of the eye, cataract. Sometimes, particularly in old age, eyesight becomes foggy. It is due to the eye lens becoming cloudy. When it happens, persons are said to have cataract. There is a loss of vision, sometimes extremely severe. It is possible to treat this defect. The opaque lens is removed and a new artificial lens is inserted. Modern technology has made this procedure very simple and safer. So cataract is the defect which affects the old persons. The eye lens, the lens should be transparent, no? So what happens to the eye lens of the old people? It becomes smoky and foggy, whereas the vision cannot be clear. So this defect is known as cataract. So through modern technologies, these islands, foggy islands can be removed from their original place and artificial islands can be inserted in, and so people are able to rectify or come out of this defect called cataract. Now we have seen about the importance of the eye, and it is the time for us to learn how to take care of our eyes. So eyes are very sensitive organ of the human body and should be taken care of. The following steps should be taken to take care of our eyes. Have a regular checkup with the eye specialist. If advised, use spectacles of proper power after the eye test. Do not rub your eyes. If there is irritation or dust particle enter into the eye, wash them with clear water. Third step, regularly wash your eyes with clean water. Fourth point, do not read a book too close or too far from the eye as it causes stress. Fifth point, have a proper diet. Eat food items rich in vitamin A like raw carrot, broccoli and eggs. And the last but not the least is avoid over posture. Example, looking at the sun, or under posture. Example, reading in dark of the light to the eye. Now one more point we should include here, because in the modern technology, children, you people are used to go through with your mobile phones. So mobile phones, especially when you are looking at the night, when there is absolutely no light, it harms your eyes. So you must avoid using the cell phone for a quite long time, especially during night hours. So these are the various steps in which we can keep our eye healthy. Now let us learn about the Braille system. What is this Braille system? It is a system of reading by the blind people. The blind people, especially, we call them as challenged persons, visually challenged persons. And these people can read, though they are not able to see anything. They can touch and feel the design of some letters, which was designed by the scientist called Braille, who himself was blind. So it is a system by which visually challenged persons, the blind persons, can read and write. It was developed by Louis Braille in the year 1821. He was himself visually challenged. There are two vertical rows of 3 dots each. There are 63 different dot posters. Each dot pattern represents a different character. So here is an example for cat. So C with 2 dots, with all others as dots, and like this. So it has been represented to you. So they feel the dots, and with the dots they are able to identify the letters, and they are able to read even a sentence faster as well.